take this as seriously as you would any other job. And if you're not ready to take it seriously, go do something else.
When did you team up with Andrew? Have you always been with Andrew, or did you do your own thing for a while?
And he said something that made me realize what we are. If there's time to spend with my parents, it's literally in my calendar so that I don't miss that.
Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome back to the What's Next podcast. I'm your host, Levi Casada, and my main man behind the camera, Tony Hernandez. Say what's up, Tony.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Tony, you're here, buddy.
Yes, man.
We survived. We survived the hurricane. Hillary. We survived Hillary.
I know.
Congratulations, San Diego.
Which one?
Right? I know. Which hurricane? I don't know. My wife prepared for it. I hope everybody else prepared for it because it was, I guess, a scary moment for a second.
Yeah.
Until it didn't happen.
Mostly because of the noise before the storm.
Yeah.
The storm, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a big storm. Everybody.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, which is okay to be cautious, but.
Yeah. You know what, though? We got a bigger storm in the studio today.
Whoop, whoop.
You know why?
Why?
Because we got my main man here. This is one of my favorite human beings. I just want to let you know.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Who is it? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, man. He's from the Finest City team. My boy, David Hussain. What's going on, brother? Yeah, let's go. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you, man. It's an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate this. Now, you told me a secret here. This is your first podcast.
That is a secret. Thank you for sharing it with the world. I appreciate that.
Which I still don't believe. I know you talked about it. You said you sat down, had conversations with other people, but not like in this format.
No, this is definitely the first time. So give me some grace if I mess up, guys.
Oh, you're not going to mess up. This is about you. You can't mess up.
That's very true.
Right?
I mean, your level of messing up is definitely based on what you define it as. So
yeah, of
that's
course.
True.
Well, you know what? I'm going to start the show. We're going to do a little icebreaker, get nice and relaxed here. Are you ready? I was reading some of these, and I'm like, these are a little too weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hey, I'm just going to let you know, ChatGPT is cranking it up here.
Yeah.
So
let's get weird.
Let's get weird.
Let's go.
All right, we'll start off with some easy ones, some little deep thought ones, and then we'll get weird. All right. Would you rather be able to experience the world through virtual reality with all your senses, or have the ability to upload your consciousness into a robot body?
Oh, the latter, 100%. Robot body.
You want the robot body? We were just talking about cartoons and stuff. Yeah, we want to be, the robot body.
Oh, wait, time out. I lose all of my senses?
I'm pretty sure you do, right? The ability to upload just your consciousness into a robot body. So it would just be you, just like straight RoboCop. Like,
it's just got
No, but I mean, now they have sensors, you know.
Hold on.
But
though.
I don't know if you would feel it.
The premise was before. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You said have all of your senses
in a virtual reality world. So you're in virtual reality because they already have virtual reality. Like it's here, right? You can put on the VR and everything, but you don't have your senses. Like someone hits you in there, you're like, oh, okay, I can see you hitting me, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
But there's that like I don't know if you've ever seen Ready Player One, where you can put on a suit and
I've seen that. And then I've also played poker on the Oculus. And
have you? Is it awesome?
There's a lot of weird people playing poker on the Oculus.
Is it weird? I kind of want to video you doing that because like you sitting down and just not knowing where hear or see anything else, and you're just like all in.
Dude. And that's the weirdest thing is because like people can make their own avatar.
Yeah.
And so like there's somebody's voice and it doesn't at all sound like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they can like gift you things. Like during the game, they can like give you a cigar or they can like give you a teddy bear.
What does that do for points or for just because they like you?
I think it's to make the game dynamic because it's already like kind of,
just stagnant. Like you're just,
Yeah. So they just added these things in there. So randomly somebody will like throw a teddy bear at you or a butterfly knife. It's so random, bro.
I might need to jump in a room with you.
Dude.
It would be fun if we could get.
It's very entertaining.
Yeah. I believe it. Especially if you know the people.
I didn't know anybody so there's like, you walk into a casino.
Yeah.
And which is a pretty cool concept. You walk into a casino and you go and like sit at a table where there's a game happening and then like it portals into like the game.
Yeah.
But you can literally just walk away from that table and go play craps or you can play blackjack or you can it's actually pretty cool.
That's trouble.
And it is it's all fake money.
It's all fake money, but yeah.
But it is definitely still trouble.
Yeah. I think I would pick the virtual reality. I want to do the Ready Player One. I like that where you could feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to go that deep in life. Like that's when you've just altered like everything.
I think the biggest thing to think about in that question is like, do you value your senses more than everything else? And
Yeah.
I totally do. Like, if you can't taste, you can't touch, you can't like feel anything, you can't smell anything.
You are legitly a robot.
Yeah.
That's what's the definition of a robot.
Well, yeah, the pleasures of life
Yeah.
are through the senses.
Yeah, like imagine you have a kid. You can't like feel or touch your kid or anything like that.
Or have
like
it-
they
yeah.
hug you or something like
You
that.
probably have the emotion because it's your consciousness, but you wouldn't be able to express it, I guess.
And like, so when you get hugged, oxytocin gets released right in your brain.
Yeah.
Does that happen in the robot or does it not?
I don't know. This is the deep. This is why I asked them for the deep ones.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good one.
that is a really good one. I think I'd have to find, being the entrepreneur that I am, I think I'd have to find an in-between answer there.
Okay. We'll stay there.
Yeah.
Right in between. All right, next one. Would you rather live in a world where everyone tells the truth at all time, or live in a world where you can read everyone's thoughts, but they can also read yours? So live in a world where everybody tells the truth, no matter what. You can't lie. Or you can read thoughts, but I can read your thoughts. So if you're reading my thoughts, I'm reading your thoughts.
You can't lie. Tell the truth all the time.
You can't lie. It's everybody tells the truth all the time.
I think I would go with that one because
Well,
I would go with that one.
I think in our industry, that's what we want. Just be upfront with me. You don't want to sit
Yeah.
at a listing appointment for an hour, 2 hours, and then this person's just like, yeah, okay, I'll give you a call. Let me just ask my wife or my husband, and yeah.
So much more would get done.
So yeah, 100%.
And so I just had a deal where I was completely transparent with everybody because I kind of have to be because of my position and the way the deal's structured.
Yeah.
And I was completely transparent with the amount of offers I had, the terms that everybody was in at, and the price that everybody was in at. And I would say, just not to waste time, because I think we had like 16 offers.
Jeez.
And we're at 100K over. And I got to the point where I was like, hey, I'm not going to waste any time with this one because I know it's going to be ridiculous. So I was just straight up with everybody and very, very clear and open. And we have two very clear offers that are competing against each other, and one went a little bit higher. And that's the one that we accepted. And it all came from just quick conversations on the phone. This is what you need to do, and this is what you got to get done.
Right.
I can't tell you how much I wish that was the case in every single transaction.
Every transaction, especially on the other side of that. Because you can't deal with you deal with other agents all the time, and you just sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you don't get. Well, it's not that they're lying. It's just they're padding what they want to say. When it's just like, just tell me the truth, man. Can you do it? Can your buyers do it? Can they not?
And realtors are such salesmen and women that they will pitch such a great story about the capability of their borrower or their buyer. I'm sorry, and they don't even know truly how financially capable they really are. You know? Because it's kind of tough having that conversation with your client as well. Like, hey, how much can you truly afford, or how much are you willing to pay? And are they being truthful? Are they being truthful with themselves? Has their lender been truthful with them?
Are they stretching what they can pay? Do they have an HOA that they're not even, putting into that, that amount that they're thinking of? There's a lot that goes into it.
There is, dude. And I do wish that people could tell the truth.
All the time.
All the time.
The other one would get scary anyways. I don't want to know people reading my minds.
There'd be weird inventions that they come up with to cover people's powers and things like that. Magneto helmets and everything.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. All right, here we go. What's the next one? Would you rather have the power to change one major historical event, or be able to see multiple possible futures, but never be able to change any of them? This one took me a second.
It's ChatGPT, bro.
Dude, this one made me think. I'm like, so you could see that stuff's coming,
Can I change what I do?
Well, I'm pretty sure you can change yours, but
the outcome is the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or one historical. What would be a historical?
JFK getting shot.
Yeah.
That's the first big one that comes to mind.
That comes to mind, yeah.
Hitler being born. I don't know.
I think I'd totally be okay with making sure the Holocaust never happened.
Yeah. That's a big one.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's kind of low hanging fruit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'd change that one, because I wouldn't want to know too much going on and then just be like, damn, it's gonna happen. That
you would implode, or you would be the most resilient person in the world.
Yeah.
If you were able to survive knowing all that stuff.
Yeah. Just keep going. You have kids?
I don't.
See, I have kids.
So I have two brothers and parents that I take care of.
Well, no. What's weird is I don't know why I said that, because I feel like, I have parents, I have siblings too, but for some reason when you have
it's just in our nature to take care of The ones that
I think so, because I think they depend
us.
on me.
Yeah.
Like my parents don't depend on me. My sister doesn't depend on me.
Right.
So I think that's why I said that, and nothing against like you having people that you care about. But I think I would not be able to handle if I know that my 7-year-old or something happened to them and there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing that,
Yeah.
you would implode.
That's
It'd
Yeah.
be tough.
Oh my God, that'd be terrible.
It'd be terrible. Okay, that would erase that from ChatGPT. That's a tough question, but historical event easily, actually.
I would go for a historical event.
Yeah, we'll
at
change
least
it.
that's manageable.
Yes,
within,
and
like,
you changed it. You know what you're changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Here we go. We're about to get a little weird.
As if we haven't. done it.
Okay, would you rather understand all the secrets of the universe and be forever isolated in your knowledge, or remain blissfully unaware of the universe's deepest truths and be fully connected to others?
That's what I am right now.
100%. We got these people discovering aliens now. I don't want that. Just stop telling me that.
I'm a big fan of control.
Yeah.
Because I like to at least know what I can expect and
Yeah.
like be predictable and have things that are predictable. I've created a world for myself in my own life because that's like the only place I've been able to be happy.
Yeah.
I think I'm good with the status quo.
100%. Unaware, big picture. You control it. I agree with that.
And if they choose to enter my life, so be it.
Yeah. I'll be accepting. Come sell houses with you.
You guys have any real estate you want me to sell?
You guys got any background in carpentry?
in Mars.
All right. Would you rather be able to would you rather have the ability to understand and speak any language in the world, but only while you're doing a silly dance, or have the ability to eat anything without any negative health effects, but you have to make loud airplane noises with every bite? So that's a good one.
Bro, you're in like some random side shop in like Egypt. Yeah.
Well, that's only because you want to eat it. But like if you want to speak it, you have to do a silly dance if you want to speak their language.
Dance.
I'd speak every language, but have to do a silly dance to like.
But how exaggerate? How much do you have to exaggerate?
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe just my shoulders.
Yeah. If it's
don't
just
know,
a little
though.
shimmy,
There you
I can
go.
shimmy and talk.
There you go. Yeah.
I will tell you though, at this age that I'm hitting, it's getting there. I noticed.
What are you, like 27?
Yeah, pretty much. I've noticed my body changing, not to good things, the dad bod. And I'm like, God, okay, I really want to have a snack. I want to have a brownie with the rest of my family. And I'm like, nah, can't have the brownie. So I might do an airplane noise just to eat what I want to eat and not have any health side effects or anything.
Though?
Everybody.
But here's the thing.
Here it comes.
Here's the thing. Then your family is gonna get annoyed, and then when I gonna eat
Then I
with
might not
you.
have a family, and I won't have a dating life. You're right.
Can I have both of these?
Yeah.
I'll take both.
You'll
dude.
take both?
Yeah, I'll do
There's no
airplane
would you rather.
noises.
I love that.
And like I would include the other, like the restaurant or wherever I am. Be like,
Yeah.
hey guys, you want some too? Nah.
That's funny.
I love that. I've never had anybody do both.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Would you rather, we'll just do a couple more. Would you rather be followed around by a small cloud that rains at you at the most inconvenient times, or have a personal soundtrack every time you enter a room, but you can't control the music?
Oh, so
The soundtrack will be hilarious.
You love music?
I do, but like it can't be the Barney theme or something like that.
Well, it says have a personal soundtrack, so I'm wondering if you make the track,
No, it says you can't.
but you can't control them. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
You can control the music.
Can't control the music.
Barney song.
Like I can't walk into a $4 million listing appointment and like all of a sudden like Andy Griffith's show theme song or Gilligan's Island comes
Or,
on.
what was it? What was the one where they chase him at the end? The Benny Hill show?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't, but yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess you can't. Or, but you're also showing up just soaked every time because it's the most inconvenient time it's raining. You're like, all right, here's the birthday cake for the, it's like pouring on you.
Okay, I would go with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the effect, basically, because I'm a people pleaser, the effect that the water would have on so many other people's lives.
Yeah, you'd be the most interesting. You'd be on the news all the time though.
I think it would fade off.
You think it fade off? The guy
Like,
that has
there's
the
that
one
guy
cloud.
again. Like there's that guy again getting into his stuff.
Yeah.
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 Soundtrack.
It would get old for the newsreels.
Yeah. I don't think the music would get old because you just don't know what's going to happen. Right?
I think there'd be a way to like spin it or live with it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You'd have to.
That sounds. I mean, it will be an interesting life, right?
Yeah. It'd be
I don't know
interesting.
what to expect.
Yeah.
I think for both, bro.
Just any of these. All right. Would you rather, last one, would you rather have the ability to fly, but only backwards, or have the ability to turn invisible, but you can only do it while singing the national anthem?
What?
Does anybody know the national? Do you know the national anthem?
I do. It was a requirement. I'm just kidding. Change that.
Change that.
That's a bad joke.
That's a bad joke.
That's a bad joke.
No, it's not a bad joke.
That's a bad joke.
That's funny. Wait,
I am.
Are you an American?
Yeah. There's so many bad jokes that I almost made, so far. And I was like, no, hide that. No, don't do that.
It's okay. There's only two people to watch this: my mom and probably
and
your mom. Yeah.
We don't need them knowing the real me. Bro.
That is true. Wait, this is gonna be trouble. Diane, don't stop watching now.
BB, I'm so sorry for what's about to happen.
Yeah. We're just getting started. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about your background then. Where are you from? You're not from San Diego, are you?
No, definitely not from San Diego.
Okay.
By way of Los Angeles. I was born and raised in San Fernando Valley in Canoga Park, 818. No, I'm just kidding.
818? Yeah.
We lived there until I was like 12 or 13. And then my parents, our house got robbed. And in the same year, my brother got armed rob at my cousin's house. And so my dad was like, I don't think this is the best place for my kids to continue growing up. Let's go somewhere like very new and fresh and just kind of turn over a new leaf. This is just after 9/11 as well. This is 2002.
Wow.
So November of 2002, well, like the whole year 2002, we're looking in houses in Temecula.
Yeah.
And then we came across a house in Menifee. So for those of you that know where Menifee is.
Right.
In 2002, we moved there in November. And there was not much to do other than... So my dad bought me a bike, and I just rode my bike from dawn till dusk,
Yeah.
And
what every kid did. Now, out in that area, because I'm not familiar with that area either, it's mountains.
It was cows.
Dirt. Oh, cows out there.
My neighbors were a dairy farm, and it smelled amazing every morning, dude.
Especially when it gets really cold, too. That smell
when it rains.
See if you had that rain cloud? Oof. Yikes.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Our neighbors were a dairy farm, and soon after that became houses.
Yeah.
And I lived there for... It was on and off because I moved back for college and then came back here. So I lived there until I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
And then my brothers went to UCSD and SCSU, so I would just drive down and hang out with them on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then when I was 19, I think, or 20, I went to Mesa College. I moved down here with my brother, and I started going to Mesa College. And then that was my first time becoming a resident of San Diego. I got a job at Starbucks in Paris, California.
Wait, there's a Paris, California.
Perris.
Oh, okay.
And it's Cowtown. Now it's just distribution centers everywhere.
Oh, wow.
But more on that later. And so I transferred
You were a barista?
I was a barista, and I was the slowest barista on record at that drive-thru because I'm left-handed, and everything at Starbucks is set up to be right-handed.
Still to this day? Do you ask them when you drive through there and be like, hey, is this still set up backwards?
No, I just know it's super discriminatory, Starbucks. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Wait. So we'll just change the drive-thrus, right? Because how would you change
Levi, the whole bar setup where you're making the coffee.
Oh, okay. So not just the drive-thru, but the bar setup.
Everything is set up to be right-handed. Where the steamer is, where the ice scoops are, everything, it's all right-handed. So all my precision was off because I'm left-hand precise,
So you just have to be like,
It took a while. And then I moved to Mira Mesa, and I was at the Westview Parkway, Mira Mesa, which Starbucks location.
Do you hold that record too there?
It's funny.
I just love that there's one record that you hold and it's the slowest for...
And two managers talked to me about it.
Really?
Yeah, the manager at the Paris location sat down and talked with me.
Did you say, listen, mother effer?
I think her name was Jessie, and I was like, Jessie, I'm left-handed. Everything's set up to be right-handed. And I think she was the first person to be like, that's just an excuse, which she's totally right. That is just an excuse.
Yeah.
I could have figured it out, and I since have the new mindset of just figure it out and don't let a handicap or whatever you perceive it to be, to be something that defines you and your performance.
So even at a bad award that you got, you learned something from it.
100%.
Yeah.
And so Gilbert at Starbucks also was like, David, what's going on? Why are you so slow? In a nicer way. And I was like, well, this is what I'm growing out of.
I'm learning a whole different way of living my life.
Yeah.
So Starbucks, you finished the Starbucks career.
I moved to, I hated Starbucks so much. The tips were like $3 an hour or something.
Okay, but wouldn't you love to be at a Starbucks now?
What?
Dude, because
to drink a coffee?
No, to work there, because the tip is like, it's almost awkward. When you go to a drive-thru, have you not been one lately?
You know what? You're absolutely right.
They go, just finish the screen, the prompts.
Answer
and if
a couple of questions.
Yes, you feel like the a-hole.
Yeah.
Can I curse? I don't know if your mom be upset at me if I curse.
Mom, I'm sorry, but he wants to say the word asshole. Is it okay?
Can I say asshole? My mom doesn't care. You know, it's like, I don't want to be the asshole that hits no tip and then they go, have a nice day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they're making tips $1.
Everybody but you.
Everybody but me. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd still want to work.
No, I know. You're doing well for yourself, but
even so, I think after the pandemic, I think the retail market completely changed as well.
Yeah.
I see people not so nice anymore to retail and fast food workers as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just noticed it more and more now.
Dude, we were just talking about this yesterday. You might have been a fly on the wall, but we were saying how when people came out of the pandemic, they found their true selves, being alone for so long or being with whatever, that they came out not caring. Like, don't you feel that?
I definitely see a lot more people in pajamas in the places that pajamas don't belong.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, even in this industry alone, like we're just more tailored to like a relaxed, more comfort, like, you know, not so much business, but a little different.
Yes, I've definitely, and I'm a person of it too. I've definitely, I don't wear a suit every day, and but I do wear a suit when I need to wear a suit. I should have worn a suit today.
No, you shouldn't have. If you would have worn a suit today, I would have felt uncomfortable. Yeah.
If you're wearing that, I'm wearing a suit, bro.
Oh.
No, I'm glad I wore the shirt. And just for you guys, this is Real Estate Investor. This is from our brand, therealestatecheatcodes.com. So this
nice. I like that.
This is one of my favorite shirts that we have.
I think I want those.
So I had to wear it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we should get you one.
I want one. All right. So Starbucks is gone. They're behind. What's next?
I got a job at P.F. Chang's and in La Jolla, and I thought it was like the best job ever, dude. I straight up was like, forget becoming a doctor. This is it right here. No,
wait, were you supposed to be a doctor?
I was supposed to be a lawyer.
Were you?
Yeah.
Is that just your heritage? Is that what your parents
doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Okay.
That's the rule. And if you don't become either of those, well, there's two things that Middle Eastern parents try to arrange. It's your marriage, and they try to arrange your career.
When did are your parents from here as well? Or did they come over from the Middle East?
So this is a deep story.
I'm ready for it.
All right.
Are you guys ready for it? Are you ready for it,
yeah,
Tony? How much time we got? Okay, let's do this.
That's
I love it.
my kind of stuff.
Okay, so it's 1968. My dad is working for a Dutch logistics company in Afghanistan, and he's like translating for them and doing like bookkeeping and operations and stuff like that. And he reads a Time magazine article on Greenpeace. And mind you, Afghanistan has radios and like television, but it's not like the World Wide Web.
Right.
So his perception of America is exactly what the media and the mass media wants it to be. And so he believes that America is a really peaceful country. There's no crime there. There's no discrimination there, and all this stuff. But ultimately his goal was to like learn more. He's very studious. Yeah. So he by way of like traveling to like 30 countries on the way. That's what they used to do back then. He comes to America in 1968. He's like 25 or something like that. I think he's 25.
By himself?
Yeah.
Wow.
He came here with 2 bags, and he lands at JFK, takes a taxi to like a motel, and he gets mugged.
Oh,
as soon as he gets here.
Okay.
So
wow.
He gets mugged like right in front of Central Park.
That's so, yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories like he's ever told, because it's so he says it even with a smile, because it's so comical. You know? He's like, I came here because of an article about Greenpeace and how like it's such a progressive country where they're trying to save things other than just humans, and that in and of itself says so much about
right.
But anyways, so he gets mugged, and he finds like a really cheap apartment or like a motel or something like that. So it's on like the wrong side of Central Park. This is 1968. A few years later, New York files bankruptcy, like the city. Yeah. So it's a bad time.
Stock market.
Everything.
Crash, everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's graffiti everywhere. This is all before like New York changed, before Fred Trump, like before all of the significant developments of New York, right? So he's like, he takes like the subway or gets over to that side of Central Park, and then, okay, what happens is I'm sorry, this is the part of the story I'm forgetting. So cut, action.
You're good.
So after getting mugged, he's like walking and he's got his bags and a cop pulls up to him. NYPD is prolific then as it is now. So they're just everywhere. And they pull up, they're like, hey, what are you doing here? Give us your identification. And he's like, I don't know what identification is. They're like, passport, give us your passport. So he gives them passport.
He speaks English.
He does, but like identification is, I guess, like a very unique word to him in that moment or something. Right. So they basically tell him like, hey, we heard of somebody mugging somebody. Do you know anything about that? He's like, yeah, I'm the guy.
I'm the victim.
They're looking for me. You're looking for me. I have to, can you find him? They're like, that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, describe him to us and stuff. So they're like, where are you headed? We'll give you a ride. And so he's like, I'm going to this apartment. I'm going to stay here for the night. And they're like, hey, this is a bad part of town. Where are you from? He tells them a story. And they're like, this is a bad part of town. You shouldn't live here. You should live on this side of the park. Yeah. And he's like, I can't afford to live on that side of the park. They're like, okay, just make sure your door's locked at night and don't go out walking. So my dad's like, what did I just get myself into?
Yeah, just got mugged, talking to the police, telling me like,
I'm going to live in the worst part of town.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, like New York looks bad as well. There's trash on the streets. There's, trash can fires where people warm themselves.
Oh yeah.
Like this is the 1968 New York and he's like in the upper east side of something like that. So, that's,
wait, isn't it moving on up to the east side? Isn't the east side good?
I think it's good now.
Yeah, Jefferson's. I don't know if anybody knew that. You ever watch that sitcom?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Anyways.
I think those are rose-colored glasses.
I got you.
I think that was in the 80s too. By the way.
Okay.
So he basically he's in New York and he starts going to school and he just like starts building a life for himself. And over the next 10 years, he goes back and forth to Afghanistan, helping his family out, brings his brother over. They start living together and, starts a couple businesses. And then...
All in New York.
Yeah. And in Florida at one point, but he didn't like Florida.
Yeah.
I would have liked Florida in the 70s. It sounds like a great place. He was in Miami, too.
Yeah, geez.
He used to own a little macrame and jewelry shop, like a hippie jewelry shop called Gypsy Village in Miami.
Which would kill it still to this day.
I totally agree.
Right?
And that's such a good name, even though it's not politically correct. Yeah. But I think that would do really well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he had plenty of fun as a young bachelor, but he doesn't share those stories with us.
I gotta get him in here.
He's a very stoic and like a charming, quiet man. He won't share.
Yeah.
If I can't crack him, you might be able to, Levi.
No, I don't know if I can.
You might be able to, dude. Anyways.
Well, I
just went down a rabbit hole.
Maybe with somebody his age, maybe, somebody that is.
Is that what you're saying? His age?
That's a good point. My dad definitely behaves differently based on who's in front of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen him, and I'm very observant of the guy because I don't really understand him too well. So I'm just like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
He definitely acts differently around other people, older guys and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's funny.
You put a deck of cards in his hand, he turns into a master.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's kind of funny how dads, you as sons, you perceive him a certain way because they're an authority figure for so long and you have this respect. And I remember, growing up, it's like, damn, he'd spank me. You know what I'm saying? It just would I better get to bed. Or,
he just spanked me. He's over there laughing with this guy.
Yeah. And then he's having a drink over there with my deal, what's going on?
I thought we were cool, dude.
Yeah. He's all, just go spank my kid? Yeah. He's a totally different guy with their age group. It's weird. Yeah.
I mean, he's with his friends.
Yeah, it's their friends. You don't think they have friends, but they do.
And I'm pretty sure the friends know those stories.
Oh, yeah.
Even more if they're old friends.
They know the stories.
Damn, all of his brothers and friends have basically passed on or they're sick, so I can't go and
kind of be
ask some questions.
Ask me about that.
But it's all good. My mom knows him pretty well. So
nice.
And so fast forward to how he meets my mom. Russia invades Afghanistan, and the country just kind of falls to the communists.
Yeah.
So it's 1981. My dad's brother says we gotta get the family out. And this is how we're going to do it. And so they start smuggling people out slowly. And my dad's one of the most educated ones in his family. So he's the English speaker and the one that can fill out applications and things like that. He's been in America for 12 years now. So he understands where to go and the geography and who should we live. You need a real estate agent to buy a house, all these different things. So he's the most American of everybody. So he files for political asylum for 33 people, gets them over to New York. And during this time, while he's in, he goes to Pakistan, that's where they smuggle everybody out or get everybody out to. He writes a letter to my mom. And my mom's like 33 at this time, which is like grandma's age, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be married by then with like 5 kids. Yeah. He writes her a letter and he's like, hey, I've always loved you. You know, I wish I can come and get you, but it's not safe for me to come and get you. Can you please come with me to America and like, marry me? And she's like, I don't know who you are anymore. You come get me yourself if you want to marry me and set up a life and stuff like that. So I think the conversation goes like she gets convinced to like go to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And they get engaged and then they move to Queens, New York. And that's where my brother was born.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Yosef.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And so they're not American, but they're American now.
They're American, yeah. They know the national anthem. I know you made that joke.
It's a requirement.
It's a requirement.
Yeah. My parents know the national anthem.
Yeah.
If you ever need to hear them sing it, I will sing it for them.
There you go.
And the Pledge of Allegiance too.
Yeah.
I had to memorize
Wait,
that.
Pledge Allegiance?
Yeah, you have to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did.
You took it
had
too?
to learn it, yeah. When they interviewed me, they asked me.
Nice. Well, that's a crazy story. So, true love, still married to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still bickering to this day.
Still bickering to this day.
But they're best friends.
I should have stayed.
You did this to me. No.
You did.
No, they're best friends to this day.
Yeah.
They live together and they go on walks. And she's like, I can't go anywhere because I have to take care of him. And he just smiles and he's like, yeah, I get to hang out with my wife all day.
That's awesome.
So they love each other. They have a relationship that I haven't seen among men and women too often.
Yeah.
They're truly really good friends.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Well, we know where you get it from. Like just your character and your personality and your love. Yeah. It's amazing. That's why I said you're one of my favorite people. I love having you in here.
You should meet my parents. You'll like them more than me, bro.
I am. We're going to have you guys in here.
Yeah.
So fast forward again back to P.F. Chang's. Mm-hmm. You're working at P.F. Chang's. You're doing it all.
Yeah.
You're like, I can make a coffee. I can sling some noodles. What's going on? Were you a chef there or you a server?
No, it's just a server there.
Working on your people skill. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah, they taught me how to upsell there. And it was an interesting job. Like, it was like sales, but serving.
How do you upsell at P.F. Chang's?
Dude. Do
you want a spring roll?
Hey, you know what pairs really well with the Chilean sea bass? This beautiful Malbec from Temecula Valley.
Nice.
I don't know. I just made that up.
I'm convinced.
But so you just upsell them on a bottle of wine. Or how about,
what's the perk to that? What did you get in return?
A higher ticket cost.
Oh.
And like they had like different incentives. If you sold this many of something, then you're
giving all the secrets away. Now I know that somebody's trying to upsell me.
If you ever...
Me, I'm just gullible. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Do it.
So typically the rule was if you see somebody that looks like they drink, ask them first if they'd like a drink.
Okay.
And then once you get one alcohol sale, it's like 60 or 70% more likely that that the rest of the table will drink. And then you get a higher ticket price and you get a higher
bigger tip. Yeah.
And they have a great time because they're drinking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, okay. PF Chang's.
Yeah. And that's where I met Andrew Greer. You know Andrew Greer.
I know Andrew Greer.
Yeah.
He great man too.
He was a server at first. Then
you guys did not meet there.
That's where we met.
Are you serious? Yeah. That's crazy.
We met at P.F. Chang's. He had long hair. He surfed. He was like 29 years old. And he was so mean to me. He did not want to he did not want to be my friend. Absolutely not. But also like he didn't want to be anybody's friend. He was like Andrew was further along than anybody else at P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
He was already investing in houses. He was already like working on flipping and things like that. He had already like started working on his real estate investment business, and this is like 12 years ago. So
that's incredible.
So be in that mindset and then see all these people working
young
for
kids, coming in
and I was young and dumb. So
and the restaurant business, everybody's partying afterwards and hanging out and doing that. Yeah, he wasn't doing that.
No, not at all. And so
how'd you break him down?
I didn't.
Just your child. That's just when you met.
Yeah, he was just the way he is. I always tried being his friend too, and he just wasn't having it. So, but he's obviously he's changed himself. He's so much more. I wouldn't say the word humble, but he's a lot more down to earth.
He's humble.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not humble.
Oh, right. Yeah. But I get
very
you.
Humble.
Yeah.
No, just he's a lot more connected. At that time, I think he was a rocket ship, and now I think he's in orbit.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, so at that point, I think he was just like, miss me with your nonsense. And
did you learn anything from him at that time? Were you even thinking that far ahead, or how old were you?
I was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. Still wet behind the ears and just dumb.
Very
and just
much
like,
so, dude.
Okay.
I was annoying and like.
You were having a good time.
Yeah.
Like every 20-year-old should.
Yeah, I was a very typical 20-year-old, and for anybody that's like, I can't hang out with 20-year-olds right now. I don't think I could.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't. So I totally understand.
Yeah.
I just give him, I give him crap because like you were mean to me, but now we're like best friends. But I just say that because it's just a funny part of our experience.
That's funny.
You know.
Yeah.
He wasn't mean though. He was just, Anyway, we don't need to talk about this anymore.
So going into just like you're done with PF Chang's, where is your mindset going? Like you worked in IT.
I did
for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So
for a long time.
So what happened was I left PF Chang's because I got into UC Riverside and UC Irvine, but the idea, and I was really cheap back then, so I was like, oh, I'll save money and won't take out loans or work too hard to pay rent in Irvine. Let me just live with my parents and go to UC Riverside by commuting. Yeah. And it was a good financial decision, but in hindsight, I think had I gone to UCI, I think I would have made different decisions altogether for education. But everything happens for a reason.
Right. 100%.
So I end up moving. I left PF Chang's. Actually, I got fired from PF Chang's.
No, you didn't. But is this the only job you got fired from?
This is the only job I've gotten fired from. I got fired because I got in a verbal altercation with the assistant manager, but that's not why I got fired. I officially got let go for eating a wonton on the job that I paid for. Like I bought the wontons and I ate them for lunch, but because I was not clocked out, that was the official reason why they let me go. However, what had happened was the assistant manager had a crush on the bartender, and I was really good friends with the bartender. We went to high school together. And we were just hanging out one day, and then I think he was jealous of the relationship we had, even though we didn't have a relationship. We were just talking. Yeah. He made a joke down to me and said something really inappropriate, so I made a joke back, and he pulled me into his little 4x4 office. You know those restaurant offices?
100%. They give you just enough to really make you feel uncomfortable.
So he stands, nose to nose with me. He's like, "Don't ever speak to me like that, especially in front of other employees." All these, he does his power trip.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, man, you started it. You said these things." So a week later, I get notice. It was the day after or something like that. I ate the wonton, and a week later, I basically got let go.
Best move of your life, right?
By
the way, I don't think he's not gonna watch it. I feel bad, but
imagine, dude,
if he finds you, just
I don't think he remembers. Dude. No, it was such an insignificant How do you remember everybody you let go?
You don't. Yeah, but you remember it because you were the one.
Because it was unjustified.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But PF Chang's is gone.
So I get fired from PF Chang's.
Yeah,
one of the best moments of my life. I went and got a steak that day. I went to a restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, and I bought myself a $20 steak.
Did you eat it by yourself?
I did at the bar, and I flirted with the bartender, and I got her number.
Good for you.
And it was perfect.
Nice.
And so I rewarded myself by getting fired, and I reminded myself that, hey, this is a new chapter.
Yeah.
And my mom always told me when I was a kid, everything happens for a reason, no matter what it is.
Right.
Her way of saying it is God has a reason for everything, but it means everything has a reason.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. So I knew that I got let go for a reason, and there was a brighter future ahead. And so I gave UCR my all and got really good grades there, and then finished that. And I started to apply for law school. So
you were going for it.
I took the LSAT. I studied for the LSAT, took those courses. And my family was really excited. They supported me financially to take the LSAT and, all that stuff. And then I began to learn more. And this is 23 years old. I started to learn more about what being a lawyer was like through cousins and friends and family. And it didn't seem like something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And once I began to realize what my life would look like as a lawyer, it wasn't what I wanted my life to look like, So, and I joked earlier and said Middle Eastern parents want to arrange two things in your life: your marriage and your job.
Yeah,
and that's totally what was.
What was happening.
Yeah, because I wanted to study communications and get into marketing.
Yeah,
because I'm just really good at that stuff, and that stuff is really interesting to me, which is basically what I do today.
Yeah,
but the family insisted that I go towards law school because.
Well, they didn't hesitate. They were like, "We'll pay for you. Like, go." That's a hard thing.
Yeah.
When your parents start paying for your school and stuff, and I was thinking about this the other day for some reason. I'm like, I kind of let my parents down.
That's the dilemma that I was facing.
Right.
So my brother's just out of college, and he was the one that paid for my LSAT classes.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to let your parents down, dude.
Yeah.
It's another to let your brother, who's like 27, 28, that doesn't have a ton of money, pay $2,500 for classes, and then you have to like think, shit, dude, I have to decide between my life and following through with a promise for my brother and my family, a larger promise to my family, but for my brother as well, because he saw something in me and believed in me. It was so hard, dude.
Yeah.
But I know somebody that is a attorney that is very high up in their position who I interviewed, and he still works 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and he only makes a certain amount of money.
Right.
Like, and I know that my ceiling is higher than that, and I can do that elsewhere. And so once you take the money out of it,
yeah,
what's left?
When did you see that? When did you notice that? Like, fast forward to when you were like, this is my passion. Because you're a people person. You should be out there doing what you do. But like, what made that? Because there's always a turning point where somebody goes, I can make this doing something I like doing. I like talking to people.
It didn't come for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I went from I went from law into commercial real estate, then into tech.
Did you like commercial real estate?
No, and it's because of commercial real estate that I love residential real estate so much. It's like I thank God for every single thing that's happened in my life.
Right.
Or I thank the universe for everything that's happened in my life.
It's just the path you're taking, for sure.
It's given me every baseline that I needed to know what I don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
You learn a lesson from something that, like we talked about, like it might not be what you expected, but you can take something from it.
Mm-hmm. And so I got out of commercial real estate. I took a project management class and some other certificate courses and impressed some people and got a job at Solar Turbines. I worked at another company before for a brief stint, but that helped me get the job at Solar Turbines. Yeah. And then I was a project manager at Solar, and then I went to ResMed. And then after ResMed, these are both like tech companies basically. Yeah. Actually, Solar's not a tech company. Solar is a gas turbine company. Right. But I worked in the tech department.
The tech department.
And ResMed is a medical device company, but I worked in the tech department. But the all IT, Yeah, I basically went from tech into residential real estate because I knew. You asked me a question. You said, what was the turning point?
Yeah, what was that turning point? Because there's always a turning point. I've sat down with a lot of people in here, and they go, you got to have, for one, you got to feel comfortable enough because remember, you're unemployed. You're an independent contractor at this point. You know what I'm saying? You own your own company, and you got to have enough to be like, okay, how long can I make it without making a sale? And so, would you ever have that, or did you have to work a second job while you're trying to, start your career in real estate?
When I got the job at ResMed, I thought I had made it. Yep. I was making the most money I'd ever made in my life. And I thought that was my dream. That amount of money and that kind of job and that it was so much fun. Like, it was project management. I worked with a bunch of engineers that are super cool and very smart. And I was always the dumbest person in the room, which I loved. And they would teach me so much, and they're so gracious. It was such a great environment. But when I got into the middle management meetings, because that's where I had to like basically communicate between engineers and middle managers, that's where I began to be like, this is not my vibe. Yeah. This is not how I want to be treated. This is not the kind of people I want in my circles. And there was like something that happened in a meeting that just like kind of like broke me. And I remember sitting down, and I actually like came to tears, and because I had like reached my goal. Yeah. And then it felt so terrible.
That's crazy.
So I was sitting in the parking lot, and I was like, what the fuck? Money is not worth it. Yeah. Like, sure, cool. I have some savings. Yeah. I have a 401k. I have health benefits, but like, where am I right now? Yeah. I'm on the second floor of the parking lot in tears. Like, what the hell is this?
You're broken.
Mm-hmm. And so once that happened, I think that was the turning point. Yeah. And I always had my license. I always talked about real estate. I always got into it and things like that. But for me, it wasn't until I started actually, when did I start liking real estate?
When did you team up with Andrew? Have you always been with Andrew, or did you do your own thing for a while?
I think that's when I started liking real estate.
The guy that snubbed you.
Yeah, what the hell, bro?
Yeah.
Real estate was, the tech job was a means to an end. Yeah. I realized I had like 60,000 saved up. I cashed out my 401k. I basically went full time in 2019.
Yeah.
In 2019, I started doing the things, and then 2020 came around, and the world ended soon after.
Yeah.
And I kind of twiddled my thumbs for a while. I did have a mentor, my brother's friend who was teaching me like the basic stuff and like contracts and things like that. But it wasn't at all what like Keller Williams will provide you, or like EXP, or any of these big companies. It was just like basic essential mentorship. Here's how you fill out a contract. This is how you should respond to this person. This is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what most realtors, it's definitely not what my team members get when they join my team.
Yeah.
So now what we try to do is give you like a holistic picture. This is how you build a business. This is what kind of career you can have using these tools. And here's the 12-step process.
Yeah.
Right?
You're teaching them how to build their own business.
And the goal for everybody that joins Finest City Team is, well, I wouldn't say this is their goal, but this is our goal for them.
Right.
And that is to take them from being people that are interested in real estate to really good realtors. We call them real estate pros. And then we transition them into investors.
Yeah.
And the goal is, we don't want you to be 65 and showing houses. That's kind of the mantra.
Right.
No shade on people that are still working and doing that, and that's their passion. I totally understand. But if that's not what you want to do and that's what you're feeling forced to do, this is how we can help you avoid that.
Yeah.
And it's through investing in real estate.
Yeah. We'll see. And like you said, no shade to them. I think they don't know any different because there wasn't structures like what we have now, what you guys are setting in place, what this is the trend setting, like you're trend setting to set this up for the 20-year-olds, the 21-year-olds that are coming into this industry. Those guys that are 65, women that are 65, 70, 80, they never had that. They just thought, this is a great paycheck and this is what they're doing. There was no end game.
No.
Really.
And I don't know many realtors that are developers.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I don't know everybody, but I can't count many people.
Right.
And like, how do you get into development? How do you do it?
You tell me.
So
you got to find the right people.
And that's the thing. Like developing HG Fenton, they're one of the biggest apartment owners in California.
Yeah.
Right. Toll Brothers, they're one of the largest builders and developers in, I guess, the nation, right? These companies started by connecting with people that already knew how to do it and getting in so good with them that they were able to pull back the curtain and learn how to do it on their own and do it better.
Yeah.
Right? The idea that Andrew and I had was, how about we pull back the curtain? Andrew's already kind of broke ground by building apartment units and taking single-family residential and turning it into 10 units, 15 units, 35, 135, So he's already been able to break that down. What if we're able to package that up and create value for people in a clear path forward, how to become a developer?
Yeah.
And that's what we did with Finest City. That's our goal is that's what we did with real estate cheat codes. Real estate cheat codes, 9 out of 10 events are about using zoning to increase density. And the reason being, that's San Diego Development Services Department. That's their mission, is to increase density. Yep. That's the city's goal, is to increase density because there's a housing crisis. There's a housing shortage. How do we do that? By creating more developers.
Yeah. And that's your path right now.
Ultimately, if you were to take it into a very succinct message of what Finest City Team is, we are real estate pros. We create and nurture an environment where somebody can grow from becoming a real estate agent to becoming a real estate pro, where you know things about real estate that nobody else knows and that nobody else can beat you on.
That's amazing. How big is your team right now?
I think we're just around 28 agents the last time I counted, including Andrew and I. Yeah. We've had more, but we're at 28 strong right now.
And that's a big team.
It is, actually. Yeah. And we had a Bay Day 2 weeks ago.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah. We had a Bay Day, and there was a nuclear scientist in the suite next to us. We were at Paradise Point. Yeah. And he said something that made me realize what we are. We're like a group of misfits. Like, all of us are just like, we have such a sibling connection with everybody.
That's amazing.
And he was like, what do you guys do? And I was like, oh, we're real estate agents. This is our real estate team. Like, we all work together. And he's like, you guys are just seem like a bunch of brothers and sisters. And that was an outsider just observing us.
Yeah.
And he made me realize, holy shit, this is like...
Isn't that a good feeling?
It was something I'd never felt before.
Yeah.
I've worked in corporate jobs. I've worked at retail, real estate, all kinds, retail, fast food, sit-down restaurants.
Right.
I've never felt like that about my coworkers.
That's amazing. Honest to God, I'm just telling you this honestly, I feel like that here.
Yeah. I can see
like
that.
It's
evident to me.
We have a good time, but we work hard. We tailor to you guys and whatever you want. And, I think when you have that, work is fun, right? Going and doing what you actually enjoy doing. It's paycheck or not paycheck, like because, like you said, the roof is endless at this point.
Yeah.
But it's also bringing that knowledge to those young people. Like I see young realtors come through here now, and it's kind of funny because I've only been in the business a couple of years. I don't have any real estate background, and I'm learning as I'm going, but I hear different things. And now for me, I listen to you guys all the time, but now I got this 20-year-old that's asking me questions, and I feel like I can, I kind of feel like a little mentor now, and I'm going to see that more and more. But yeah, dude, I just enjoy it because everybody here is just like a family. We've always said that.
You touched on two things that I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, you talked about how you and Tanya, Andrea, Courtney, everybody else I'm not mentioning, Casey, obviously. You all are like family. You're like siblings. You know what that does is it makes you bought into New Venture so much that you want to protect it at all costs.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you can continue having this level of quality of life, quality of job. And that's the beauty of culture in a company.
100%.
If you can have the right kind of culture, that really resonates with your employees, and they protect it as if it's like their own place. You're like, you can't get past these walls.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel when I see Tanya at like any networking event. She comes from a place of being undeniable. Yeah. Courtney the same way. And they're undeniable because that's where they come from. You guys are all undeniable. And I know the story. I know some of the stories of what Casey's been through and how New Venture has come to exist. And it's badass. Yeah. If you really think about like where it really comes from and imagine a man going through what they're going through to build what they have now. Right. It's almost like a hero story. Yeah. And that's where undeniability and a culture of undeniability roots from, is from people that do stuff like that. And they surround themselves with people like Tanya, Courtney, yourself. Yeah. And you guys go to war every single day. We go to war every single day. It's like little things, this is war right here, bro. Yeah, this is fun. But honestly, New Venture Escrow started in a room no bigger than this, Yeah. And it's grown so big. Mm-hmm. But we love like I said, we love what we do. Who gets to sit down and talk to great people like you every day? Not a lot of people. You have a pretty cool job. Yeah, dude. Right? Yeah, this is a pretty badass job. This has been amazing. Absolutely, man. Well, you saw what time. We've been talking for an hour. It doesn't even seem like that. That's a long time. It looks like we just sat down. Yeah. It does feel like we just sat down. I just want to touch on a few more things though, because I want to know, so you guys are, every time you come in this office, you're working, which is crazy. Yeah. It's hard to pull you away from work sometimes. So I'm actually glad, and I want to be respectful of your time because you are running to a listing appointment right after this. So, but I see you just like, you came in here early. Usually agents are like barely making the time frame. You came an hour and a half early. You asked me for lunch, and I'm like, no, man, you do your good. But your hustle. What's your day to day like? I live off of my calendar. Yeah. No matter who you are, including my family, if you want to have time in my life, you're in my calendar, and you may not see it, but if there's time to spend with my parents, it's literally in my calendar so that I don't miss that. Yeah. So I live off my calendar. My day-to-day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out at the gym. Shout out to my trainer. Nice. And so I work out at the gym, and then I go into a meeting with Andrew. We always have team building hours, we call them. So we meet for an hour and talk about the business and what we can do to make sure that we're maintaining, nurturing, and building. And then after that, I get into, I have time blocks. So I get into fires right away, whatever fires need to be taken care of. Yeah. And then I get into like emails and making sure things are getting opened or closed or maintained. And then after that, it's lunch with somebody. I never eat alone. You understand that concept? Like, have you ever heard of like never eat alone? Yeah, yeah. So
I for sure never eat alone when I'm here. Yeah. I barely eat when I'm here, but yeah.
We got to get you eating.
Yeah.
So I try not to eat alone just because it's really important to spend that time. I come from a Middle Eastern background. We never eat alone. It's just not something we do. But so I don't eat alone. And then I move back into.
I should have came and ate with you today. I'm sorry.
It's all good, bro.
Now I know. When you invite me, now I'm there.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I was on the phone while I ate.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't have done that had you been.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the afternoon is all meetings.
Yeah.
So afternoon, I'm either out in the field. I'm going to showings. I'm going to listing appointments. I'm going to somebody's office to meet with them, talk about business or talk about partnerships or talk about events. It's always like out in the field in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much my day to day. Most of the time we have an event like once or twice a week. So I try to knock out everything I can in the morning before.
What's your events look like? What are you doing right now for events?
So our biggest event is Brewery. Monthly we do free real estate networking. It's been going on for almost 10 years now.
Wow.
With Andrew. And so it's normally at AleSmith or a different brewery or a bar. Our next one may be at the Lafayette. We don't know.
Oh.
So we're working on
once
that.
a month, or what'd you say?
Yeah, it's once a month, the third Wednesday of every month, barring any kind of like obstacles, basically.
Yeah.
Like family obstacles, something like that. But it's the third Wednesday of every month, and it's been that way for almost 10 years. So that's Brewery, and you can learn more about it at Listed by David or at Realty Entrepreneur on Instagram.
Perfect. I like that.
And so so that's the event. And then the other one, the most important ones are the real estate cheat codes. That's what we offer that not a lot of people offer. And the goal is to bring to you real case studies on site of things that are happening and breaking down at a granular level what and how this project came to be and is going and everything else.
Is this all video?
This is in person on site.
This is in person on site.
Inside the weeds, inside the construction site.
Okay.
At the Airbnb, whatever. So it'll be like either a recently done Airbnb and we talk about the numbers and how it came to be and how people can do it. It'll be at a custom home development that Andrew did in Mission Hills.
Yeah.
And how you can lot split, a single family lot and turn it into 3 custom homes. And what that looks like, what it costs, how to even do it, what would you do differently.
Right.
And then we'll go to there's a 8-unit that Andrew's building in National City. I think that's the C Street or the Orange Street development project. And we were just in a field where there was an old crappy Rolls Royce parked in the back, and so that's where he's building 8 units. And we talk about the plans and how it came to be and what it's going to look like to, get the sewer out to the main street and how he's going to have to change, repave the street and stuff like that. That's the real estate cheat codes, realestatecheatcodes.com.
Realestatecheatcodes.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look for that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. We'll put all that in there. Tell me about how do I get with Coffee Hour Thursdays?
How do you know about that?
How do I know about that? What do you mean?
That's so funny.
Do you do this on your own?
I do. This is just under the Listed by David brand.
Okay.
Under a sub brand called Community 92123.
Which you're the publisher at the community.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. So I decided.
What community is that, by the way?
Sarah Mesa. Sarah Mesa, Kearney Mesa, Birdland, Mission Village, and also technically Stonecrest Village, but it's all recognized as Sarah Mesa.
Nice.
Depending on who you ask, it's obviously
92123.
Yeah, 92123. So that's Sarah Mesa. It's just south of Arrow Drive and north of Friars. And it's a beautiful pocket of 30,000 homes built by Martin Gleisch, and who used to own Guild Mortgage. Now his kids own it. Small name.
Yeah, right.
So anyways, Sarah Mesa is a beautiful community of blue-collar, working-class families that, 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, up to, 2,500 square foot homes. And a few years ago, I started a little magazine called Community 92123, and I bookended it with a couple of staple events. One of them is Thursday Coffee Hours with David.
That's amazing.
And the goal was to get people out of their bubble. Or not their bubble, the COVID bubble. You remember that?
I know the COVID bubble.
Are you in my bubble?
Yeah, we had a bubble, yeah.
So the goal was to get people out of their COVID bubble because businesses were struggling in that neighborhood. I went to a business and she was like, David, I'm going to have to close down.
Oh.
And this is like August of 2021. And I said, why? And she's like, my local customer's not coming. You know, and Sierra Mesa is it's a weird location where it doesn't get a lot of through traffic.
Yeah.
So it's only local customers for those businesses, you know?
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, no one's going out of the way to go to that neighborhood to go.
Yeah.
It's a local.
And it's not it's not the Lafayette Hotel, you know? It's not a draw. It's a sandwich shop, you know? So I knew about my buddy Patrick Mercer, who runs Lifestyle 92116, and it's the same magazine.
Yeah.
But he does his thing, and I sat with him, and he's gracious enough to give me some of his time and talk me through exactly what I could do. And he gave me some basic instructions, and I delivered. You know?
Wow. You saved a town. No, I mean, if we're going to put it out there, I mean, you did.
I don't think I did.
No, but I mean, but you're doing your part.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're giving back to the community, which, I mean, just makes me love you even more.
Just the way you said it, bro.
Just, you saved that town.
Yeah. So coffee hours has become like a thing where people come and hang out, and they just come and meet each other.
Yeah. And not every Thursday, is it?
It's every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday at 8:30, I'm there sharp, and I have coffee. I buy coffee for everybody in the coffee shop.
Okay.
As long as they bring in their magazine, which it's sitting in a stand right there. So they just grab it.
Just free coffee. Yeah. But they're going to sit and they're going to have a pastry. They're going to remember that place. They're going to be like, this is my new spot.
If you want the real cheat code of why I do coffee hours, it's because people will eventually have to talk to you about real estate. And once they do, if you're a good realtor, you'll be able to give them enough value so that they basically don't have any other choice but to hire you, because there's nobody else better than you to do the job.
Yeah. That's good.
That's the coffee hours.
That's David. The coffee hours with David. Mm-hmm. And you do the food truck Fridays during the summer?
I do, yeah.
Summer's done though.
Summer's done.
Did we miss it?
We did.
We'll have you back on here. We'll plug it before next summer. But tell me about the food trucks.
Food Truck Friday is basically every third Friday of the month, or fourth Friday. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think it's the fourth Friday.
Fourth Friday.
Every fourth Friday of the month.
Friday. Sorry,
we bring food trucks to a local park. Normally it's at Murray Ridge Park. And we basically have food truck events. But I think I'm going to wind those down because the local organizations now, or like the Sierra Mesa Mamas Group has reached out to me. The local food pantry, some of the churches, even the preschools have reached out to me, and they want to start hosting events.
Cool.
So instead of me doing all of this legwork, I can just help uplift and put these people on a podium and elevate their brand through Community 92123.
Dude, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. You're going to laugh, but you saved this town. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, you're a very humble guy. I know. Thanks. Me saying that is tough for you, but I mean, in this industry, we see a lot of people who are flashy and have nice cars. Sorry, that was a little joke from earlier. But they're not giving back.
Yeah.
They're not taking care of their community. You know, they want to sell homes, that's fine, and that's a career for them. But I feel like the genuine people in this industry and the people you want to find out there, list, what is it? List by David.
We're going to try this again.
List.
You're going to find people out there.
You're going to find people out there listed by David.
Yeah.
Because they're community oriented. You're there because you believe in a spot. That's your neighborhood. You want to grow it. Not just because you want to sell homes, but because you believe that you love that coffee shop.
I do. I don't know what I would do without Bare Buns, man. There's another coffee shop there too, Java Garden. Like, these are owned by amazing, beautiful people that work their ass off and pour their like life into these ingredients and these recipes, man. And it's actually quite cool. Once you become invested in it, you almost feel like how you feel about New Venture.
Yeah.
If this didn't exist, my job wouldn't be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you're awesome.
Thanks, bro.
I don't think I told you that today.
No, I don't get that enough. I don't carry you around with me.
Well, we've been talking for quite a while. I love everything you're doing. The hustle, your Instagram is amazing. I love are you doing all that yourself, by the way?
98%.
98% creating it.
Yeah.
Editing it, shooting it.
Oh, all of that is me, 100%.
Really?
Oh, wait. I do have photographers and videographers that produce the photos, like a professional photographer that does my listing photos. I have, videographers that like video me and edit those videos. The ones that you see of me like that look like commercials.
Yeah.
Those are not me.
Those are not you.
Those are being paid for.
No, and Tony, you can add to this too. And I was thinking this because I do my research and I was looking at your Instagram and stuff, and how important is music in your...
If there's no music, there's no emotion.
Right?
It's absolutely crucial. Dude, we started this podcast with a theme song.
It's true. And would you agree, Tony? Like you have to now. Who picks that music? Like, what does the house pick it? Do you pick it? I mean, but do you get inspiration from
where to get inspired?
Yeah, like is it a jam that you? Because the jams that I'm listening to on your stories and your reels and stuff, I'm like, damn, that's a banger. Like that's
the stories come from, dude. It's so funny. I can never find. Do you guys ever have this problem? I got questions for you, by the way. I want to spend at least 10 minutes with this guy asking questions, by the way.
Oh, shoot.
So do you guys ever have trouble
Is this one of the questions?
No. But do you guys ever have trouble finding good music?
All the time.
You ever get tired of listening to Kanye and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Whatever it is.
You know what's hard for me is because I like a song from this artist. And I like a song from this artist. And then I'm like, I got to put it all in a playlist, but then I got to click. It's too much work. I like the whole... what all these things are doing now,
mashups.
Yeah, they're mashups. Or you pick artist and it's this person's radio. So yes.
So that's what I was going to tell you. I'll find a song that's like today I stumbled upon Flute Song. Look this up. It's on my.
Is that what you're listening to when you were like, hey, I'm listening to this while I'm working?
No, that was Antidote by Travis Scott.
Oh, okay.
Which is just the no. That was another one. It was that was actually appropriately titled song. It was never mind. Antidote by Travis Scott.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that.
So
what'd you find?
The radio is the best. So I went to Flute Song Radio, and I'll send it to you. I don't know if you listen to rap and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do.
Hip hop and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, it is really good workout music.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's what I try to find is something like that. But then you get this one song and you're like, skip, and then you get another one, you're skipping. I'm like, I just skip my whole workout. Not that I work out often. Yeah. But we have a list in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
On Fridays is throwback hip hop, and I love that one.
I played that one when we were here.
Yeah. Oh, that's from you then? Because it's still on our iPad.
Oh my God. I thought you put that there.
Oh, I don't know. But that's the one we listened to, and I'm like, dude, these are all good.
It's 90s throwback hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
I play that at my parties.
Oh yeah.
Because all my friends are 30 and 40 and stuff like that. So everyone's freak it out.
Yeah.
That's because it's just the best music in my opinion. I think it trumps everything else.
It does trump.
Yeah.
Hip hop, the 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 90s and early 2000s.
And I think that's what you catch people by, beats. It's the beat behind it. The words, because you guys don't use the words in your videos. It's that quick build up.
Yeah.
Bam. Yeah. Okay, what's the question you got for me?
If you could have any true any job and it paid the exact amount of money that you needed, what would it be?
Oh man. All right.
And you got to be honest.
I know the answer. I know the answer to this.
No.
I do.
Oh, has somebody asked him this?
No, but
I think we've talked about it before.
I know him very well, so
not many people know this. My whole background is coaching.
Okay.
Coaching volleyball.
Okay.
I've been coaching since I was 18 years old. I fell into volleyball because girls in spandex. I'm 16 years old. I'm like, okay, yeah.
That makes sense, dude.
I'll be
at that age.
At that age. Yeah, at that age. I'm not looking. Okay. Let's cut this. No. But I'm saying I was, 15, 16 in high school, and I took karate for a long time. A lot of boy club, not too many females doing it at that time. And went to high school and I was like, girls volleyball, dang, what are you wearing? I'm like, oh, I'm going to become
Why are you wearing this?
Why are we wearing this? Is this allowed?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is interesting. I'm going to start.
Mute that.
I'm going to start
Sorry.
Getting involved in volleyball. So I'm like, how do I get involved? And I became a manager. So when they would practice, I would just collect balls and I'd start kind of picking up on techniques and stuff like that. And so then I'm like, oh, well, let me try playing this. And so I started playing it. I really got into it right out of high school, went to U of A, was the manager for the University of Arizona. So now I'm stepping up, not being a manager for high school. Now I'm the college, these are seniors in college going on and playing, big time volleyball. And that's where you meet the college coaches and their knowledge of the sport is incredible. Mm-hmm. And so I just started coaching when I was 18 and coached for the club there, all different ages. And then we moved away from Tucson, our whole family picked up, moved away. My wife and I have never lived outside of Arizona, moved to Dallas. When you talk about sports, the Texas sports is a whole different breed. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. I was like, oh my God, people are paying me. I don't even like taking money because I'm so passionate about coaching.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the sport, it's about coaching these young individuals' life lessons. You know? Sorry, this is going on forever. But I'm saying,
I just want to make sure that I'm showcasing.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, people were like, you know, in Texas, they're like, private lessons, like, how much they're ready to write me checks for whatever. I could have said any amount. They'd be like, yeah. Like, no, just pay the court fee. Like, I love being here. I love being present. I want to see your daughter play college someday. And my wife hated Dallas, so we moved here for her career, stopped coaching. I don't know why. We live in Coronado, which I hate saying, but we live there.
You can coach there?
No, there was really nothing. I did reach out to the coach at the time. There was a little club there. She didn't take to me, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but did she have exclusivity over the club?
She did. She was hurt. She owned the club, but it's not there anymore.
Why not?
So long story short is I'm back to coaching.
Okay.
Coaching the middle school there.
Okay.
And we're trying to build a foundation to start a club there. So my goal, and all my friends, all are college coaches. Like, I just went on a bachelor party, and probably 12 out of the 18 guys that were there were all either college coaches, club coaches. Like, it was a good time to see them again. I'm like, damn, I really wanted to buy a facility, a building where we could have our own club, mesh up on just like different techniques and just that's yeah. If I could get paid the same, I'd.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is truly like a passion.
I think, and we've talked about this before. I think the mentorship is in younger people is not there. So that's why I want to also step into coaching, because if you go to my camps or anything like that, it's just it's incredible, because I like teaching more than just volleyball. There's life lessons to be learned everywhere, and you have to be a good mentor for these people that aren't getting it at home, or kids are brats these days.
I didn't get to say this earlier.
Yeah.
Right now, where you stand, we are the future of our real estate industry.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that at all. We don't, every day goes by, we don't pay attention to what we are putting out there and what kind of culture we're creating, but we truly are the future of real estate.
Right.
For our industry here in San Diego. And everything that we do and we live for is going to become that. Everything that we pay it forward on, or everybody that we impact or teach, that's what it's going to be. So even in volleyball, dude, you actually are the future, teaching the future.
Yeah.
And it is a very important job, and we just don't take it seriously enough. We don't realize how important it is.
Yeah. I love it.
Next question. Okay. Have you ever had Afghan food?
My wife. Okay. So I don't know how close this is. My wife is Lebanese.
Okay. Awesome, by the way.
Yes. And I'm a very, cook your food completely. Mm-hmm. And so when I had kibbe for the first time at her grandfather's place, I was like, what is that? And
that's what you're eating, with lemon and salt.
And a raw onion.
Yeah, and a raw onion.
And
a yellow one.
So that was my, first
It was delicious. Tell me it was delicious.
It was fucking delicious.
Right?
I will not lie. Scared as hell. Mm-hmm. But yes, if you have it done right, for me, it's, So I've had, I don't think Afghan, is that close? A little bit?
From what? From Lebanon? Yeah.
Lebanon? Yeah. I mean, you tell me, you know.
It's not.
They're in this.
Different ingredients.
Okay.
Think of the Middle East as the Silk Road was the major freeway between the Middle East. That's how everything traveled, right?
Yeah.
So spices would kind of dwindle off as they got sold off.
Yeah.
And that's actually how a lot of culinary recipes are created, is based on availability of spices.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the oldest highway in the world.
Yeah. The spice trade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's actually why India was relevant to Britain at that time, was because of the Silk Road, and they wanted control over the spices and tea. And so as the Silk Road intersected Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, then the Mediterranean, and then it would go onto the docks of the Mediterranean and make its way up to, or sometimes actually it would probably go up Turkey and then make its way across into Spain, Italy, Eastern Europe.
You could have a variation or one type of food, but a variation of taste.
Dude, Lebanese have kebabs.
Yeah.
Afghans have kebabs. They taste completely different.
Really?
Yeah. If you had chicken kebab in Lebanon, it does not taste like chicken kebab from Afghanistan.
Okay.
And Afghans have the best kebab that exists in the Middle East. And
All right.
I will take anybody up on that and beat them.
Yeah.
So you're inviting me to dinner is what you're saying.
Dude, bro.
Okay.
You're on the way.
So, no, I have not. A simple answer. I have not had that.
You're absolutely
close, but yes.
You have to have Afghan food. We should go. Next time I say let's go to lunch, we have to clear our day because it's carb heavy.
Okay.
So don't expect to come back to work awake.
Okay.
And we'll go to Pamir or Baba Kebab in Miramar.
Nice.
It's really good.
Okay.
Okay, third question, last question.
Last question. You got it.
Okay. Favorite movie of all time, but you have to be able to watch this movie over and over again. Over and over again.
Okay. Okay. You can definitely edit this because it's going to take me, it won't take me that long.
You can just say Step Brothers. Just say it.
Which is really weird that I would not say that. I love Step Brothers. So you're going, it's hard. This is probably one of the hardest questions out there ever, right?
It's harder than calculus.
100%.
Yeah.
You have different genres. Like, it's just tough. For me that I could watch for one that I could just, if it's on, I'm like, I'm watching. Hate to say it. People might disagree. I don't give a shit. Back to the Future.
Yes. 100%.
It's a nostalgic.
100%.
I mean, I just can. All three of them. Unfortunately, all three of them. Like, I can watch all three of them.
There's not a fourth one, is there?
I don't know. There's not a fourth one.
Okay. Yeah, I could watch all three.
Yeah.
Each one less than the next one.
Yeah.
Second one's pretty good.
Second one's pretty good. Third one is, I've always wanted to be a cowboy, so like, it kind of is. I like it too.
Are you a Buford Tannen kind of guy?
No, not that type of guy.
Okay.
That's too dirty.
Just Biff. He's filthy, right?
It's filthy. Like, so as much as I want to be a cowboy, I don't think I could ever live. Everybody who knows me, they're like, you can never live. You'd have to bathe every day, and you just cannot bathe every day there.
No,
I would die.
Okay.
So
Back to the
Future.
Number two.
Jesus. Number two. What do I turn on? I mean, a good. I'm a weird dude, man. Like,
that's why we're asking these questions.
I know. Three Amigos, dude. The Three Amigos.
Stop.
I'm not joking.
Stop.
It's the team of Steve Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. Like, these are old movies, dude, but they're just, I could watch that movie all the time too.
That is a really good movie.
Yep.
Oh my God. That is one of the best movies.
Yeah.
And underrated.
And underrated.
It's not on Netflix, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's definitely underrated.
It should be on Netflix.
Yeah. And then I think what I also grew up on, and I just like Indiana Jones, dude. Not anything past 3, but I'm an Indiana Jones fan.
Did you watch the most recent one?
No, I haven't. I see the ratings. I get nervous because the 4th one was so bad, but
it was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was. I just hate stories that this is like a little too unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just not realistic. And like, no, it's real. These things exist. Just stop.
Yeah, you're an old man.
Yeah.
You're not punching anybody out now. Yeah. No, I know those are weird ones, but hey, this is what we do for the
all
podcast.
Of those were good movies.
They're good movies.
I mean, they're all so Steven Spielberg influenced and Robert Zemeckis and George Lucas influenced. I don't know who directed
Back to the Future?
Three Amigos.
Robert
Zemeckis.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Robert. Yeah. I did do Three Amigos. I don't know. I'll have to go look it up.
I think a movie I could watch anytime, Coming to America.
Dude, nailed it. That's a good one, too.
I could watch it anytime. And that's probably the place that they lived was exactly where my dad lived.
It probably hits home for you. That's why.
Not me. I didn't live there.
Not you, but I'm saying, does your dad watch? You watch it with your dad?
Yeah, actually, my dad's favorite actor to watch is like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase. Like, if I put on Three Amigos, this man would be quiet and happy.
Well, you talk about, what's his name? From Coming to America. What did you say?
Oh, Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy. Like, Beverly Hills Cop was one of my favorite, too.
48 Hours.
48 Hours. Dude, anything with,
Anything with old Eddie Murphy before, like, Pluto Nash.
Yeah.
Because even like the vampire movie was good. That was so many Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah. Dude, we could go on another whole podcast.
Seriously, bro. We should do a part 2.
We are doing the part 2. So one last thing here.
Yeah.
One advice. Give some advice that you would give a new agent.
Take this as seriously as you would any other job. And if you're not ready to take it seriously, go do something else.
It's great advice.
Like
for sure.
Take yourself seriously because you have only yourself to rely on.
Take the glamour out of it because it's what you see out there on Instagram is not what you...
Your job is actually too important for you not to take it seriously.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people's life savings.
Yeah.
You are their key to stable housing. You're their key to financial freedom. You're their key to the next chapter of their life. I was just talking about it with Andrew. Our job is actually too important and we're given too much responsibility to not take it seriously.
Right.
If we don't take it seriously, you are being negligent. You are doing a disservice to these people. I mean, dude, like a real estate agent poorly advised my immigrant parents to sell their house in Los Angeles for $300,000, $293,000.
Jeez.
You know what that house is worth today?
A lot.
$1.5 million.
Oh my God.
My dad owed like $30,000 on it.
Oh.
All he had to do was just rent out the house and get a mortgage. That's the number one. My job is literally to help you build wealth in real estate, not to make money off of selling your house.
Yeah.
And that's all she had to do was just help my parents build wealth through owning real estate. But
that's why you're here now.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yep. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. Please look at the camera. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can learn one more time.
Yeah. Ready? Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can learn more about me and my team at listedbydavid.com, finestcityteam.com, or you can reach me at 858-215-3512. I'm David Hussain, and it was an absolute pleasure being here at the New Venture office and on the What's Next podcast.
Yes, we appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Levi.
We're going to have to do this again. We'll do our own little podcast of just other random questions.
Yeah.
I had such a good time.
We'll do like a fast forward podcast.
Fast forward podcast.
No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. That's a bad name.
That's not a bad name. We're starting it. Somebody's going to take that now. Thanks.
No, I think we'll do the Real Estate Cheat Codes podcast.
Let's do it.
Real Estate Cheat Codes podcast. That's the plan.
All right. Well, we're going to make time for that. Thank you again for taking time for doing this.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for being so invested in the conversation.
Of course. Anytime. Tony, tell everybody where they can find this podcast.
Well, guys, you guys can find us in YouTube. Go over there in YouTube, like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notifications every time we have a new episode. Yes. Also, you can find us on Instagram. Did you know that, Levi? That they can find us on Instagram?
Of course I do.
Yes, of course, because you like to comment sometimes, right?
I do.
So go over there, follow us on Instagram, leave a comment, and we would like to hear from you. What would you like to see in the next episode? All right, guys? So I'm ready to take you guys out, and let's go.